Okay, so like I said, I had major questions about the housing and lodging. Granted that I was making 5K per week, but they had me staging. So when I get there from Oklahoma to Sacramento, let me tell you why staging is a scam, in my opinion. This is my opinion why staging is a scam. Staging is when either the census is low, they particularly don't need you at the moment, and they want to keep you on standby, or you get there, they might not have jobs available. Like California, stuff was booming. Nurses are needed regardless, but the state of California was having a hard time getting back in touch with the agency about what jobs they needed. Like they had to go look for the job. So they sent me there. The prison float pool got booked up, but they still needed me, and California stated that they would still pay me the amount that I was granted on my contract, but I needed to stay in the state of California. I could not leave, okay? So this is what happened. When you stage in California, you're in your hotel. You are still putting out the expenses, okay? You get reimbursed, all of that type of stuff. But the hotel that I originally got, I only planned to stay there for about 2 days. That was really what was supposed to happen. And I was paying $90 per day to stay there when I originally was not supposed to be there. I was only supposed to orient there, okay? And that's to say, it's a lesson learned. I will never be in a hotel that high again, especially when you're on these type of contracts. Whether it be 4, 6, 8, 13 weeks and stuff like that, you are supposed to bargain, get these rates down as much as you possibly can. But I did not know that I was going to be staging in a hotel. And I wasn't the only nurse that was staging. This was numerous amounts of companies that were doing that around that time, February the 3rd, okay? So I was telling my recruiter, I said, I'm still getting paid for this, right? He was like, yeah, you still getting paid with this. But what he did not tell me was that I was only getting paid at my base rate, $59. Now, what did I tell y'all? In the state of California, your real money comes in from overtime, $88.50. That is the real money. But what they're not telling you, and that's why I said I had to go back and read the contract, that these are hours worked. Okay, you are guaranteed your 60 hours regardless, but you are guaranteed that at base rate. Your money comes in hours worked. When you do your overtime hours, you have to be at the site working. If you are not working, you are paid at your base rate, okay? He did not tell me that. He didn't tell me that, okay? And the reason why I think some of these companies are liars, okay, is because I was cool with a lot of little SNAP nurses. The SNAP nurses were telling me that they staged 2 for the first 2 weeks, but they were getting paid their overtime rate because they went down and they were having their supervisors sign their sheets. And SNAP, if you don't know, they pay for their hotels. They do the whole nine, okay? The pay might be a little different, but they do the whole nine for their nurses, okay? I heard some stuff about them too. Like I said, I talked about them before. All these agencies, they ain't shit, okay? They ain't shit, okay? But listen, they were getting paid their overtime, and they were staging for 2 weeks. I was not, okay? A little birdie in my ear told me that the company that I was with, got her overtime rate the first week, okay? And she was staging. So that let me know somebody's lying around this motherfucker. Somebody's lying, and something ain't adding up around here. I get to Oakland when I finally have a job. They telling me, oh yeah, we staged too. We was at the house and stuff like that. And then they told me this job was coming up. And nurses get to talking. That's what we do. We talk, okay? We don't keep our mouth shut about nothing. One thing a recruiter will always tell you, especially with these little FEMA contracts, don't discuss pay. Don't talk about pay. You making the most money. You making the most money there. Don't talk about pay. Your recruiter is lying to you, okay? There is an act that protects you against that, okay? Let me explain to you. I'm not going to go in depth, but I'm going to put something up there for you to read yourself, okay? NLRA is called the National Labor Relations Act. Allows employees to engage in paid discussion, okay? Companies covered by the National Labor Relations Act cannot limit employees' concerted activities for the purpose of collective bargaining or other mutual aid or protection according to Section 7, okay? Or of the NLRA. Although the phrase concerted activities may seem broad, the NLRB, the board, has made clear interpretations over the years, resoundingly on the side of employees' rights to discuss salary and wages. Okay, so I'm going to put up a little link for you to read that. There are several sections that you can read. There's several cases that you can read that protects employees from discussing wages. You are allowed to do that by law. These recruiters were telling everybody, don't discuss pay. You'll get in trouble if you discuss pay. You're making the most money. Okay? I found out so much stuff. The nurses was putting me on game, baby. Let me tell you. There was one nurse in particular. I love her to death. I'm so thankful that I met her. I think it was meant to be. Okay? She told me the game. She told me what I was entitled to. When I was reading that contract, originally, I asked my recruiter, can I have some money for a rental? Because I didn't have, at the time, I couldn't ship my car. I couldn't do any of that type of stuff. And per GSA, you are supposed to cover some type of reimbursement there, okay? So this is what happened. Homegirl told me that I had the relocation fee of $500. She got the relocation reimbursement of that, and she got a reimbursement on the car rental. Car rentals were approximately over $2,000 in California. So she got that and a relocation fee to get her there. I did not get that. And I asked my recruiter, I said, that's what I need because I'm going to rent a car there. I can't ship my car at the point. Are you guys offering this? And he was like, no, that'll just come out of a cost and they'll just take it out of your check. Why would they take my money? Why would they take my money to reimburse me for a car rental? Why would they take that out of my check? Listen, I researched. They are not supposed to do that. Okay? She told me she got that and I was livid. But you know what? I calmed down. I remained leveled. And what I did was I went back to my recruiter and I said, hey, I'm in Oakland. This is how much GSA. I screenshotted some laws, some labor acts. I went to GSA.com and I provided him evidence of what I'm entitled to as a nurse. Okay? So this I'm explaining to you how this is went because this is all about text message. Okay? I said, check your email. I sent you some information from GSA.gov on how much travelers are supposed to get back in lodging and meals in Oakland, California. He says the float pool you're on is sponsored by the state. And that's the max stipend they'll allow us to put on there because it is a float pool throughout the entire state. Okay? I said, yeah. I've seen the other nurses who are on the same float pool and reassigned to Oakland. Same contract, but housing and meals is significantly more. Consider how much expensive California is. I've paid more in my stipend in hotels. Are you able to provide me with somebody I can speak to about this because I'm willing to extend? He was asking me to extend my contract, but he wasn't trying to budge on my housing and my meals and incidentals. So listen, this is what he says. Please show me and I can see if they'll change. You're also getting paid more than the LPNs on that float pool because you came from a prison float. $4,000 for them and $5,000 for you. I'm on the same float pool, but you're paying what? $4K for them and $5K for me on the same float pool? You're lying. You know how you're lying? Because majority of these nurses voluntarily let me see their contract. They were letting me read over this stuff, okay? They were screenshotting me information of what I was entitled to as a nurse in the state of California. And these people, some of these people, they were actually residents of California. They knew this like the back of their hand. They knew this company was playing people, but you got to always get back into them at tenfold, okay? So I said, all of your blank healthcare workers showed me their contract. Okay, we're on the same prison float pool, same start date. That don't matter. So I just started to do my own research. I read up on the California labor laws, which led me to GSA.com. Okay, lodging is $168. Housing $168. You know how much they were paying me? They were paying me $96 per day. GSA says I'm allowed $168 per day. You see where I'm coming from? How the hell did you formulate $96? But GSA says I'm allowed $168. Okay? Now, meals and incidentals. It says that I'm getting $55. GSA says for Oakland, I'm allowed $66. Something ain't adding up. Okay? Oh, shit. I was finding out information after information. It was like a rabbit hole, y'all. Like I was just typing away, reading all this stuff that I was entitled to. What? These agencies is playing people like that? Baby, I done got into a game that I can't even get out of. What? I said I'm paying over too much to live here. So I think we can try to work something out. Okay? We can try to work something out. He said, here's the explanation why your stipends are like that. Your contract isn't for the city of Oakland. That just happens to be where they floated you to. The contract is a float pool throughout the state of California. So with the possibility of being floated to any city in California, the stipends can max out at $10.57. Be wary of these contracts that always say $10.57, but they don't match up to the place that they want you to be in. Baby, he told me I'm in a float pool, but where did you float me to? You only kept me in Oakland the entire contract, and I extended for an extra week and a half. You didn't want me to go nowhere else. The state of California didn't want me to go nowhere else, so why the hell is my housing and my meals not matching up to what, by law, I'm entitled to? Playing everybody. Listen, I was looking at those contracts, playing everybody left to right. Where the fuck are you pocketing all this money? If this is what they say that I'm allowed, where is the rest of the money going to? Untaxed money. I'm telling you, untaxed money. Where is this money going to? Y'all tell me. Please put it in the comments. It ain't going to me. Then who is going to? The agency. The recruiters. They getting money off of this. They bankrolling on every single dime, okay? They are liars. I don't care if I was in a float pool. You needed me in Oakland. You didn't float me nowhere else. You needed me in Oakland, and all I asked was I needed some more money for housing because housing was expensive. The lowest that I could get on a hotel per day was $70 a night. As soon as they found out that more nurses were going to Oakland, it's like they almost raised up all the rates, okay? My housing wasn't provided for my agency. I provided that shit myself, okay? I had to literally get on the phone with sales managers of the hotels to convince them that I deserve a lower rate because I'm a COVID responder. I had to constantly bargain, negotiate back to back with sales managers on giving me a low rate. He had to get out my parking fees, and he had to quote me $20 less because I said, I'm here for 2 months. I'm not even here throughout the day. All I do is sleep, somewhere to sleep and shower. Okay. The cost of living was extremely high, okay? So that's what I was trying to explain to my recruiter, is that what folk pool am I in if you constantly want me to be there? So you telling me the state of California is telling you that they need to max it out at 1057, and it doesn't matter because I make the most money. Bullshit, that's my money. That's my money. You are supposed to pay for my housing and my lodging. You want me to go work, okay? I didn't ask for all of this stuff. You wanted me. You said my credentials matched up to what I needed to do. You are going to pay me my hourly, and you were going to pay me for my housing. This man wasn't budging. This man wasn't budging. Y'all, he was not budging. So let me tell you what happened. So, he said, exactly. So I spoke with the state supervisor and the state's pharmacist. They have let my tent know in the pedestrian village that they plan to keep this site up for 6 to 9 months. Remind you, this site is FEMA. FEMA was rolling in dough, okay? This was a big site. They plan to keep this site up for 6 to 9 months. I started in February. The main contractor was Snap, like I said. Those were 90-day contracted people. Then you had the subcontractors, which was Aya, ProLink, Maxim. Like I said, they come in wherever that the need is in, okay? So they plan to keep that site up for 6 to 9 months. So I know there is a need, and I know that is all depending on the contract with my company and the government. But I already know there's a need because your workers tell me that they are all renewing. All these people that started out with me were telling me that their recruiters were renewing their contracts or extending them because there was a need. Okay? You weren't going to float me nowhere else. The need was in Oakland. Oakland was paying your company big top dollars to have me there. If I don't work, you don't eat. Say it again. If I don't work, if I decide to dip out, you don't eat. You got to pay that money back. Okay? Stay with me. Stay with me. Okay, so I said also, Snap is the one that originally secured this contract for 90 days. I know this is irrelevant to the conversation, but it's relevant to the topic at hand. So, I need to speak with somebody because I know there's a way around this. So he said, are these people with my company or is it somebody else that you're comparing your pay to? And I said, no, this is your company that I'm working for. This is your company, your workers. We are all on the same contract. Okay. Stop playing with me. These people all have different rates, different housing and stuff like that. I'm finding out it's either more or you playing these other people and not paying them what they were supposed to be. I was finding out so much shit online. I had a headache because this girl, she was giving me all the tea. She told me that this site was running at $1 million per day. $1 million per day. So if the site is running at $1 million per day, my tax dollars, then they pay you. And you talking about my measly, I'm going to say measly, $5,000. And you telling me you can't go up on my housing or my lodging? Somebody's lying. Somebody's lying. Somebody's lying. Here's another kicker, y'all. I found out that I was entitled to, what do you call it? Damn, I'm losing my train of thought. I was entitled to $500. Okay, $500 extra. Not the reimbursement to the location. None of that stuff. I was entitled to any time that I worked over my contracted hours, which was 60 hours. Remind you, if you watch those videos, FEMA, they were keeping us there more than 12 hours. We was there from 13 to 14. I remember one time we was there for 15 hours. They would not let us leave, y'all. I thought I was in some type of prison at once, okay? But listen, I was making money. Anytime after 12 hours, state of California, they had to pay you, I think it's double, triple time, okay? So I was making $118 an hour. But what my agency has failed to tell me was that I was actually entitled to an extra $500 and something on top of that if I work more than my contracted hours. That was not on my contract. So here I am. I find out that I am entitled to a car rental reimbursement. I'm entitled to more housing and meals and incidentals because of the place that they had me working at. I'm entitled to my overtime, car rental, all that type of stuff. All this stuff that I'm finding out from a little birdie, just giving me some information. And I appreciate this nurse till this day. Just giving me some information. Okay, now usually when the nurses got to talking, they were really pissed because when they found out about this, what they did was just stupid. If you are a nurse that does this, you're just stupid. They go back and go call their recruiter and they get to start spilling names. Oh, so-and-so told me that she getting this and I'm not getting this. You are doing this based off emotions, anger. You already signed the contract. Charge it to the game. Charge it to the game like you've already signed it. Whoopsie, your fault. You should have read your contract, okay? I know what I signed. I knew what I had was a good rate, okay? Also, from the contracts that I was looking at, I was making more than a certain amount of people, but there was some incentives that was missing from my contract. So still, win-win, lose-lose. So like I said, these girls were going back to their recruiters and they were spilling names. They were putting my name in it. They was putting another girl name in it because we was all putting them on game. We was all putting them on game on what they was entitled to as a nurse, okay? We giving you laws, labor laws. We giving you information that you could just search from Google, and we are telling you that basically your recruiter is just banking in all that money that you're not getting, okay? Either that or the agency. They was rolling in dough with these FEMA contracts, y'all. I'm telling you, rolling in straight up dough. So, as a nurse, they was spilling my name. They was spilling this other girl's name. And we were essentially getting in trouble because we were talking about pay. So, listen, we were all in the tent. They was like, did your recruiter tell you not to talk about pay? I was like, yeah. They told me that, but they're not allowed to. What you gonna do? Fire me? You gonna fire me for talking about what I'm allowed to do by law? By law? Okay. Go look up that stuff, y'all. Go look up that stuff. It's real. It's real.